Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this edition of the Weekend Wrap Up. It is October 11th, 2025. I'm David Thomas, and Mr. Josh Blevins sitting around right across the table from me, drinking his Southern Cup coffee. What do you got this morning?
Creme brulee breve, very nice on a crisp fall morning.
Oh, by the way, I got my McDonald's coffee.
Coffee with Monopoly is back.
Yes, Monopoly is back, and I have not pulled this off. And
yeah. Are you a big winner? Did you win the $1 million?
I got Reading Railroad.
Reading Railroad. Well, yeah, that's the start of something. I don't know.
The start of an enterprise, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, let's take a break. And we really haven't done anything to take a break, but let's just kick things off with a word from our sponsors.
That sounds like a good idea. Let's do that.
We'll be right back to dive in.
Yeah.
Get the results you want with the personalized service you deserve at Dennis Young Insurance Agency.
As a local independent agency, we offer coverage from several different companies, including Erie. So whether it's auto, home, life, personal, or business, we can find the right coverage to meet your unique insurance needs. And with a rate lock advantage, your rates won't go up as long as you do not change drivers, autos, or addresses. Contact us at Dennis Young Insurance Agency, insuring Shelbyville and surrounding areas since 1988.
Alrighty, welcome back in here to the weekend wrap up. Josh, I know it's been a lighter week than normal, but you still got some things here. We
got a few things. Yeah, probably going to be a short show unless David and I go off on a rabbit trail.
That's possible.
Could happen. That's possible. No guarantees, but yeah, very light week actually. In local government, there was nothing at the county level that I attended, and I don't think they actually had any public meetings this week. At the city level, I went to a grand total of 2 whole public meetings. Wednesday night was the city beer board meeting, which lasted all of maybe 15-20 minutes. The reason I attended was they were supposed to have round 2 of the discussion of the new entertainment district, and they punted.
What was the reason?
I didn't really get a good reason. They just weren't ready to talk about it yet. So that's all still about whether we're going to have open containers. We're going to have them on South Spring Street. We're going to have them around the square. We're going to have them nowhere, anywhere, everywhere.
Okay, this was discussion. They would make a recommendation to the city council. Is that what they would do?
Eventually. Yeah, eventually. But they can't recommend until they talk about it. So
okay, so we wonder what that's about. I mean, that board gives their opinion.
Yeah,
and then you guys, as the
council
person, you will actually vote on it. Okay, yeah. So do they not have an opinion at this point, or did they studying something?
They're still studying. I think they're still studying the legal ramifications and how they're going to approach it. And public, there's already been some public pushback and all that. So I think it's just
how much pushback though, really, Josh?
There's been some, yeah. I mean, we were in the poll 80-20 in favor, but there's still been. I mean, the 20 are vocal. The 20 are no's are always vocal.
Yes.
So,
okay, all right.
So they weren't ready to talk about it, so they didn't. So there's really only ended up being one thing on the agenda, which I wouldn't cover, except it was a little mildly humorous. So I thought I would go into it. We had a lady, and I won't mention any names. You can always go and watch the meeting if you want to.
Yeah.
But they had a lady come to the city, and she wanted a beer permit, and this is for a place on South Cannon. They wanted to do. It was supposed to be beer and billiards, I think. So a pool hall.
Beer and billiards
is what was presented to come in. You know, beer and it seems pretty straightforward. But in the interim, after she applied, before she got to the meeting, she got arrested in Murfreesboro and charged with felony. It's been bound over to the grand jury for running an illegal casino gambling operation up there. So
that's not a good situation.
Maybe there was more than beer and billiards in the plan for this location. I don't know. So either way, the beer board did not grant a beer license to this poor young lady that wanted to open the beer joint in town. So they said, come back in January after your court case, and we'll see if you've gotten locked up for the felony or not.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Well, if she has, she wouldn't be coming back.
Well, and if she get, if you actually get a felony, you're not eligible to get a beer license.
Yeah.
So that's sorry for those that were hoping for beer and billiards on the south side of town. It ain't happening right now. So that got deferred. Then Thursday night was the only big-ish meeting of the city this week, and we had the city council meeting. and it opened with, we thought, and I think we talked about this last weekend,
Yeah.
we were expecting a protest of some kind, form or fashion, about the proposal to bring the new fire department, police department headquarters to Musgrave Ballfield Park area.
Okay, now let me ask you this. Okay,
Yeah.
this is police and fire. I thought
Yeah.
City Hall would be included in that too. Is it not?
Now, City Hall, we're not looking at putting them there. No.
Okay.
No,
Are you?
it would-
Is it being considered though? For I know I've heard that through the grapevine, and then maybe you've even mentioned that City Hall needed a relocation, possibly.
They are looking
Looking
at
at-
other options for City Hall. Yeah, initially they did do the architect had done a combo
yeah.
proposal at the beginning showing all three in one building, but that got even more expensive than it already was, and then B, if they did that, I think the idea is they want to try to keep City Hall near or on the square. So this location they're looking at, I don't think they feel
Yeah.
would be a good fit for City Hall. So this would just be police and fire headquarters. There'd been a ton of online discussion of this in the week leading up to it. So we were expecting, kids to show up. We were
Right.
expecting people to protest.
I thought
We were
it'd be a
expecting-
packed house.
We thought it would be a full house, and we did not. Didn't happen. One person showed up and signed in to give public comment. It was not on the agenda, so I went ahead and motioned to let her speak anyways. She'd gone to the effort to come to the meeting. We don't get public comments at city council that often, unless it's something crazy. So they went ahead and let her speak. She spoke for 3 minutes, gave her side of it. The thing that was kind of interesting was the mayor piped in, and this got picked up by some local media, and he agreed with her, and he doesn't want to put it there either, which is kind of awkward since the city's looking at
yeah.
looking at this
Right.
location.
Okay.
So he's clearly a no. He won't get a vote. When
Right,
it
of
comes
course,
down to
it's
it,
not a
unless
vote for him, but
unless it ends up being. A
I
free
guess
time, but that's-
everybody's entitled to their
to
opinion.
put
on it.
their opinion out. So
All right.
that's his opinion on it. And then council member Noel, she spoke up and just explained to the lady that had come to speak against it. She said, "Hey, we don't all the stuff we saw online about the council's a bunch of people that don't care about kids and we're trying to take away opportunities for kids." She's like, and the reason I didn't speak is I'm the new guy. So, but Betsy, she's been here her whole life. She's like, "I've lived here my whole life. I played on those fields. One of the fields is named after her dad."
Yes.
I mean, she's like, "I've got connection to the field. I understand the connection of
Yes.
not wanting change. But on the other hand, we've got this issue that we need to fix, the fire headquarters, police headquarters thing that's been kicked down the road that should have been fixed, probably 10 years ago at least."
Well, you got
Yeah.
the nostalgia that's involved.
Right.
Me being a local that's born and raised here and have seen those lights on
Yeah.
in spring and summer for the last 60 years, just seeing it was just part of the landscape.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
The thought of it not being there is kind of sad, but at the same time, I look at several buildings that I grew up seeing that are no longer around,
Yeah. More
and
than a
they're all
couple.
gone. And
Yeah.
and change is going to happen. It's just going to happen. Stuff is going to fall down. Okay.
Right.
It's a part of life. And I can understand, well, we don't want to dislocate kids, but I think the whole plan is to put everybody in the park complex, right?
We're spending millions right now to upgrade the soccer part of the park. And right behind that, they've got a master plan. You can go, you can look. I think there's a whole Facebook group, HV Griffin Park Master
Right.
Plan or something like that. They've got a plan once the soccer is done to upgrade the baseball and softball. When it's all said and done, they end up with
6 fields.
it's like eight or
8?
nine. Yeah, I
Okay.
thought it was 5 or 6. I've seen it more recently. I think it's closer to 8 or 9 ball fields when it's all said and done
Yeah.
over there, which would then have, good parking, accessibility from different areas of the city. I mean, they'll have lights, it'll be the whole deal. And should theoretically, if it's done right, be a nicer facility and location than what they've had over at Musgrave. So that all obviously is going to involve money. So
Oh yeah, and that's
yeah.
something Bo and I talked about, how we fund something like this going forward. And we were talking just during the commercial, I guess, or before.
Yeah.
The cost of everything has gone up so much, Josh. Cities and county governments across the country are facing the same problem that we are. You've got families out here paying taxes to support what we need to take care of ourselves, and they're struggling to even buy the groceries. Okay. So it's something that everybody has to look at. How much money do we spend going forward on this? How we fund it, of course, with the bond issuance or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's got to be a long-term gig. It's got to be something that plans out for a number of years, that we don't have to dip into this scenario again 20 years down the road. It needs to be a 30, 40, 50-year plan.
Yeah.
And how we plan today is going to affect the next generation or two.
Right, because where we're sitting at today in 2025 is based on how they decided, where they decided to put those buildings in the 1960s.
Yep.
So that's how, I mean, that's 65 years.
Yeah.
So that's a long time. And those decisions, they worked then, and we're still working now, but we've outgrown them, and we're past where they need to be changed and improved. And
Okay, so
expanded.
here's my question, Josh. When you go, and this gets into the actual project, but it's something to start thinking about now. How does our population growth affect the future of what this looks like? And I'm not saying how we build it to start. The need for where we start at is going to change throughout the years. If we have to have more police officers, more fire protection, we're talking about maybe stations around town, possibly for our fire department.
Right.
So how we build that, I mean, it could be out of date if we're not careful in 10 years.
Well, and that's part of the good thing about this particular location. It's got enough acreage that it can be built with the thought of expansion in the future. Whereas that other location that they had looked at that
You're
fell through by the
landlocked.
library, you were stuck.
Yeah.
I mean, what you built was what you had for the next 30, 40, 50 years. So at least at this location, there are, I think, if the whole parcel, and the decision hasn't been made how much the city may or may not buy, but if they were to buy all of it, I think it's about 19 acres, and they only need, about 10 right now. So you could leave that room for expansion in the future, have it already owned by the city. And then in 40 years and 30 years, 20, whenever you outgrow it, you could add on to it without having to go through this same process again.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's just start crunching numbers about more rooftops and how it pays for stuff like this, what it looks like down the road. I've always heard more rooftops, that's more revenue for taxes. And I'm sitting here seeing we're going upside down probably on every rooftop that's built if we have to provide the services that we currently have at the current rate and the expanding rate that we're going to have. The cost is going to continue to go up because the cost of everything is going up, and and it's not exempt for cities and counties. Okay. Yeah. So that price is going to steadily increase for whatever it is you're buying, whether it's chemicals to clean with, vehicles, salaries, equipment for fire extinguishing, and then your police officer, all of it's going up. Okay. Yeah. That rooftop is not bringing enough revenue in to offset it at the current tax rate.
Especially with the townhomes and the starter homes that we're getting.
The high density population, especially. Yeah. All right. So where is the money going to come from? Is it going to be an impact fee that the city puts on? Or is it just going to be reduced services? And I don't know. There's a big balancing act that's going to be taking place in the years to come, Josh.
There is. And currently at the city level, the impact fee is not an option. The state legislature continues to, they're, for lack of a better word, they're controlled by the developer lobby right now to such an impact that Gallatin, which is facing way worse growth than we are, they again, the most recent session brought forth, tried to get an impact fee for Gallatin.
Let's listen to what you
got
just
voted
said.
Down. So.
Worse growth.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, we're using those two together.
Yes.
I always thought growth was good, but you said worse growth.
More growth may be a more appropriate.
I like your term, Josh.
I'm sure you liked it. So yeah, it is. Yeah,
but
they're growing at a much higher rate.
But it creates a problem,
and it does, and it has for them, and it is for us.
So I don't think it's growth. Growth doesn't really, unless you're expanding around the belly or something. That's bad growth. It's kind of the very same.
Yeah,
we're getting overweight, Josh.
Yeah,
we need to go on a diet.
So we are a little bit.
I'm not talking about me and you. I'm talking about the city.
Well, all right. But we're not even into the meeting. That was the opening part of the city council meeting. That was before we even get into the meeting.
I'll be quiet now.
No, that's all right. Then we got the announcement of the Bedford County Christmas, which this was a big deal last year. Hopefully it'll be a big deal this year. It is coming the first Friday in December, which I believe is December 5th. 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. It'll be on the square. It'll be like last year. I haven't heard. They haven't put out all that's going to happen yet. Maybe there'll be reindeer again. I believe we had reindeer last year.
Did you say that date? I'm sorry.
December 5th.
December
I believe
5th.
it's
Okay.
December 5th. It's whatever that first Friday
Right,
is.
right. And then the parade is usually the next day.
The
right?
parade, I believe, should be the day after,
Yeah,
usually
yeah.
on Saturday. Last year we had fireworks. I hear they're trying to get the fireworks again.
Fireworks.
Fireworks.
Oh,
Maybe some music of some kind. Definitely you light the tree. This is the whole point. It's lighting the tree. So the biggest thing will be if we could control the weather a little better. It was just a little chilly last year. If we could have it about 10 degrees warmer, it'll be perfect. So we'll
Hey, it's
see how that
December. You
goes.
never know.
You don't ever know. And it was cold last year. So that's coming up though. That was a big event. Hopefully it'll be a big event again this year. Next thing we covered was this was second and final reading on the change to the fireworks ordinance. We've talked about this several times over the past couple of months. Ran into some issues, particularly in my neighborhood. We noticed them where we had problems shooting off fireworks on July 5th, which was a Saturday.
Yeah.
So after some back and forth and some feedback from different people, we changed it to you are now going to be allowed to shoot off fireworks inside the city limits from July 2nd through the 6th every year, which that gives you 2 days before and after the holiday in case there's weather on the holiday, in case the holiday falls on a Wednesday or some day that maybe you've got to work or something. So it actually ends up just being a net change of 1 day, but I think it makes it a little better having some options on either side. We approved 2 small rezonings. They were just small 1 acre properties. One was for somebody who wanted to build a house on Dover Street and somebody wanted to put a business on East Depot Street. The question was asked on the East Depot Street property, what kind of business? They didn't know yet. And at a rezoning, you don't have to know, but it was already partially commercial. So it wasn't really controversial. So there was another rezoning, however, though, be on Moreland Drive, the property right behind Dos Bros and Wingstop and UPS and Firehouse, where there was an attempt to put in some townhomes back there. And we denied that rezoning. Some of the reasoning being that would have been a spot zoning. There's nothing in that area that matches up with that.
Right.
It's not a townhome neighborhood. That's a neighborhood of single family
Right.
houses. Even the future land use map doesn't say, hey, we want to get to townhomes there. It says we want to get to commercial property in that area.
You remember
So-
the old song on Sesame Street? Which one of these things is not like
It was
the
not
other?
like the other. That would have
That's
been
the
not like the
application.
other. It would
All
have
right.
stood out like a sore thumb. So that was denied. And honestly, we don't get a whole lot of denials in the world of rezoning, but that
Yeah,
one was.
that one was.
They voted to send a delegation to the governor's conference in Murfreesboro. I guess that's just one of them political get-togethers they have up in Murfreesboro.
Yep. Everybody holds their drinks and gets their picture made.
Gets the
Do they
picture
have a
made with
ribbon
the governor.
cutting there? Probably
I
not.
don't think
but
there's ribbon cutting. I
Okay.
think that y'all just hang out in conference
All right.
and whatnot. So that'll
Okay.
be exciting. And then there were several items on the agenda that surrounded this Fairfield Pike project. We've talked about this
Yep.
several times. This is what seems like a small project. It's an intersection and just the road out to North Main Street there in front of the Walgreens.
Right.
But it has turned into, what do we decide, like a 10-year or a 12-year? I mean, it's a crazy long
Yeah.
project.
Yeah.
We had to put more money into engineering with Gresham Smith. It ends up there are 29 separate pieces of property that this tiny little stretch is going to impact. And every single one of those property owners is going to have to give up a piece of their property in order for this to happen.
Wow.
So we have contracted with who TDOT requires us to contract with, and every one of those property owners is going to have to be contacted. They're going to have to say, hey, we're going to take some of your property. They have to get.
Now, where is this at
appraisals.
exactly, Josh?
This is that intersection in front of Edgemont Church,
Right.
and then just back over to the Walgreens
Right.
at North Main. So it's fixing, and I would imagine
Right.
it goes a little bit out from the intersection because they're adding turning.
So you're talking a
lanes
quarter of a
and-
mile strip of road.
Yeah, probably even less. than
all
that.
all of those pieces of
Yeah,
property
that-
down through there.
Yeah, so it ended up being 29. So
Wow.
they've either the property owner has to agree to the price, or they have to negotiate. You know, there's a lot of back and forth there. You know,
Well, here's my question about that, Josh,
Yeah.
and maybe other people have this question too. If we get this, it's a link between Fairfield Pike.
and
and North
Fairfield
Main.
Pike. Yeah,
Okay, North Main and
Yeah.
Fairfield Pike.
Yeah.
Okay, so you possibly are funneling people off of North Main on the Fairfield Pike, which we already have people doing it automatically, trying to avoid North Main.
right.
Fairfield Pike, is a screaming disaster because of how narrow it is. Are we going to create more problems if we keep funneling more people on Fairfield Pike that don't even have a shoulder?
Well, I think the idea is not so much to funnel them off North Main, is to help people get through that god awful intersection. And try to
Okay,
edge
all right,
where you
okay.
get stuck
So
there at the
maybe
light,
rebuild
you can't
that.
turn,
Is there going to be a rebuilding there? Maybe a
yeah,
widening
more,
it out?
more turn lanes, different light configuration. Because
Okay.
I've seen that certain times of the afternoon, that little stretch from Walgreens to that red light, it backs up all the way on to North Main. So traffic
Yeah.
backs up that far there. So they're just trying to fix where you can get through that intersection without getting backed up all
Okay.
the time. So, and again, it seems like a small area, a small piece,
But you're
it's
talking about a lot of money to do that.
millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're at millions. We're short on the construction side on the funding already. They're already looking at, that was part of the deal. They're shuffling money around.
So where does
everywhere
this money
trying to
come
get
from?
State,
Give us a
we
little.
thought it was honestly, because TDOT's handling it, we thought it was state, but we were given a spreadsheet just at the city council meeting, and it turns out it's all federal money.
Federal.
That TDOT is funneling federal money down to us
Okay.
to cover all this. So yeah, so it's also local money though too, like this engineering. Because I asked that question, how much of this is coming out of local taxpayers, and this is 80-20 money. So the federal government through
Hey.
TDOT is covering 80%, but we're covering 20%.
Okay, so
out of
if they
local
keep
money.
going up, we got to keep going
We
up
keep
to match
going
it.
up.
It's
Yeah.
sort of a match deal.
Yeah, it's a match. So
okay.
They did say, however, and that was my big concern with it, since we added a bunch of money in this time, was this in the budget this year? Is this, are we spending money outside the budget? They said this was already in the budget, so this is something we'd already
Good
accounted
question.
for. So,
Good question.
Another thing we voted on, which this is one that you had wondered why had not been voted on
I
before.
still wonder.
And we did.
Are you one step closer?
We vote to begin the process of changing the use for South Spring Street.
I would just to play a joke on somebody, make it a 4-2 vote against it.
Oh,
And,
just
we're
vote
gonna have to
against
dig all this up now. No.
Buck would
I would.
shoot every one of us.
Buck wouldn't be happy. I'm
Yeah,
sorry. I'm just
that's
saying
a
this
lot
would
of
be fun.
concrete
It
that
would be
would
a little
be-
fun just for a minute.
Just to mess with him. No, I don't
No.
think he would appreciate that.
All right, so
so
basically-
even though it's been closed and we knew the change of use is already happening, we did actually have some kind of vote that said,
Not an official vote.
no, this doesn't actually change the use. This, all it said was, we're going to begin the process of changing the use. So yeah, even though by the time
So,
we get around to voting on it,
What
the
do
use
you,
is going to be long.
But so,
since changed.
what is
Yeah.
the pro? I mean, how do you change it? It's either open or it's closed.
Well, it's not closed. They want to be very clear. Closed is not the word
Closed to
used.
traffic.
Yes, it is. It is
To a
change
vehicle.
of use
Okay.
to pedestrian use.
Okay.
only,
All right.
yeah.
So it's
Because if it's closed, then we've abandoned
there's-
it, and then
right.
it's no longer city property.
all right. So it's not
So,
closed. It's just
yeah.
now pedestrian traffic
pedestrian
only.
use only.
All right.
yeah.
So that happens like that. It's either
Yeah.
you can drive a car down it or you can't.
And you haven't been able
So
to drive
what
a
is
car
the
down it for
process
years,
look like? I know. So
yeah.
what does that process look like? It's like closed now, Josh.
It's already closed. Well, now the planning
okay,
commission
okay,
has to
okay.
review it, and then they have to send.
What
a
if they say that
recommendation.
we don't like this, Josh?
Well, the council can override it anyway.
I'm
so,
just picking.
Yeah,
I'm just
but
picking.
they send to the council.
This
the
is a
council then has
formality.
to have 2 readings of an ordinance that says.
but it's
we're
a
making this
formality.
way. It's formality.
There's no way anybody could be against this, right?
Oh, I'm sure people could be against it. People can be against anything. There's got to
Okay,
be that
all right.
one person that wants to drive
All
down
right.
that road, and they're not going to be happy. But
Oh, okay.
they can't drive down. That
I'll
road.
move
It's
on.
already
I'm just
done. So,
throwing what ifs up that are just
yeah. But it is. If you've been out there, they took down one of the main telephone poles this week, and this upcoming week they should pour the main concrete. So it should be concrete all
Yeah.
the way across from Grindstone over to Glass Hollow there. And then they're going to put in, they're supposed to put in a statue of a horse. And it was a famous horse, Jim Key. Is that the right name?
the famous Jim Key.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's supposed to be, and I don't know if I'm supposed to announce
Jim
it or
Key
not,
is
but
the
I'm
horse
behind
that could
anyways.
talk.
There's supposed to be a horse statue there. And then maybe some benches and some other
Yeah.
stuff. And it's going to be fancy and look good.
You need to read that book.
I should read the book.
I've
Yeah.
got the book.
You
It's
have the book?
the
Yeah.
famous Jim Key. It has a lot of history. It falls into Bedford County and
Okay.
Moore County and Lincoln County area.
Yeah.
It's pretty interesting.
But we want to make that whole front part purdy.
Purdy?
So that
Purdy,
you can
okay.
you can take selfies and post them on your Instagram.
Is that
So-
what we're going to do? All right.
Yes, so
all
it's
right.
going to be pretty. It's
So-
going to have the horse. It's going to have some benches. There's probably going to be a mural or two up there, And yeah, you can hold your phone up in front of your face, take your picture, post it on your Instagram, and everybody will know where you're at. So
Okay.
it's
All
gonna look
right.
good. It's gonna look good. Grindstone, I walked through it within the last week. They're looking really close inside on the ground floor. So
I'm
they haven't
sure.
officially announced an exact date, but last I think we were told was maybe right at the beginning of November now. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So
it's very
that would be
close.
great for the Christmas season.
It should be.
It
Yeah.
Should be open for that.
It'll be open for that. You'll be able to go have coffee.
This
and
has been
drinks
highly
and-
anticipated now. Everybody
yeah,
for the
long
last
time.
year, everybody's been waiting,
Yeah.
waiting, and waiting. And
Yeah,
here it
it's about
comes.
to happen. It's about to happen. So it's going to look good. It's going to be a nice place to hang out. And then the last thing that we're going to cover from this meeting, which wasn't worth covering, but it happened, so we'll cover it. Also, the city agreed, or the council in this case, because we voted, we're sponsoring the fall classic at Cooper Steel Arena, which I think we do every year. So,
Yeah.
but we have to vote on it every year, so we're one of the sponsors.
Yeah.
So, and with that is pretty much all that went on in local. We did have, I say only went to 2 meetings. We had 3 different meetings of the employee benefits committee for city employees. Those were interesting. We just
Yes.
had different insurance companies present options to us. We've got to take like a 1-week break on that because 2 of them have to come back and bring us actual hard numbers, and they didn't have them ready yet. So another week from now, we'll have that. I don't know what direction exactly that committee is going to go. I will say that insurance is hard. I mean, it don't matter what you do, somebody's going to be upset because they
Well,
feel like,
It changes every day too, Josh.
yeah. So I'm not sure that we're going to be able to, whether or not we'll be able to make any change to the city insurance policy or not. There's just so many moving parts there. And
Did you know that the predominant carrier in Bedford County for most businesses is now no longer accepted at Vanderbilt, Bedford?
I did not know that.
Yes.
No.
It's something that you might, well, y'all will, I'm sure, discover that.
Yeah, no, we're on cities on Blue Cross, and Blue
Yeah.
Cross is definitely
Yeah.
accepted there.
Yeah,
So,
there's another plan that a lot of people have that you can't.
Yeah.
It's out of network or something.
Oh,
It's,
okay. Well,
higher copays and higher deductibles.
yeah, no, you don't want that. So
Yeah.
no, we're currently on Blue Cross Network S, which is also the one that the state is on, the county and
Yeah.
the teachers and all that, and that's covered at Vanderbilt. So yeah, that part we're good on. So
Okay.
with that, I think that's all we're going to talk about from this past week. So maybe let's hear from our sponsor, and we do have
Well,
quite a few things coming.
Can
up.
I jump down a rabbit hole?
Okay,
I
what else
heard
you
you
got?
say this, and it triggered something in my brain.
Okay.
When you were talking about the South Spring Street project,
Yeah.
you talked about moving a light pole or telephone pole of some sort, a utility pole.
Yes.
You had to move it. Okay.
Yeah, got
I
took it
had-
right out of the ground.
Had a visitor coming in town for the horse show this week, and this is just something to think about and just go, huh? And I've heard you say this before.
Yeah.
This lady was talking about driving down Elm Street, and she went around the curve, and she said, "There's a telephone pole sitting in the sidewalk, right on the street, just
yeah.
like 6 inches from the street, and my fender almost, and my mirror on my dual wheel pickup truck almost hit it."
Yep.
Okay, and I know what she's talking about. There's several locations in the city of Shelbyville that the poles are just right on the street almost, and
Elm
you don't
Street,
see that anywhere.
Union Street, North Main Street, different areas. You get them right in the middle of the pole. You got Madison Street.
I know.
They're all over the place. So,
And I had,
Yeah.
I've heard you say something about that, and I've lived here my whole life, so I'm just used to like dodging the things,
yeah,
and you get accustomed to it. But honestly, you go anywhere else, you just don't see that.
that is not something I've run into other places I've lived. And I've lived in quite a few places in 3 different countries. And yeah, light poles in the middle of the sidewalk has
No.
not been a normality anywhere else I've been. So
Okay,
it's-
so I
yeah.
got a project for you, Josh. Now that
Yeah.
you're a city council person,
Move the poles.
move them poles, man. I mean, you got the power.
It's
to do it.
expensive.
I know
It is
You-
expensive.
anything,
yeah,
anything
just
in the
those
utilities.
ones in South Spring Street, which they did.
Yeah.
All those utilities are going underground in South Spring Street. I mean, that's a multi-million-dollar project
Yeah.
there, and that's not a big area. So, can you imagine how much it would cost to fix Madison Street or North Main or
It would be unfeasible.
tens or maybe hundreds of millions? I don't even know. So,
Yeah, until we have major construction through there, it's not going to happen.
right, yeah.
All
So,
right. Well, that was just another little rabbit chase.
that was your
there.
that was my rabbit trail.
Second
All right.
one of the day.
All right,
But let's hear from our sponsors. We'll come back and we'll take a look ahead for the
Yeah.
next week.
let's talk about it next
All right.
week.
We'll be right back.
Get the results you want with the personalized service you deserve at Dennis Young Insurance Agency.
As a local independent agency, we offer coverage from several different companies, including Erie. So whether it's auto, home, life, personal, or business, we can find the right coverage to meet your unique insurance needs. And with a Rate Lock Advantage, your rates won't go up as long as you do not change drivers, autos, or addresses. Contact us at Dennis Young Insurance Agency, insuring Shelbyville and surrounding areas since 1988.
All right,
We're back.
we're back. You almost caught us. All right, Josh, what's coming up this week?
Upcoming week, actually a lot more meetings that many of which I'll be attending. Not all of them. Some of them conflict with each other. Monday morning, starting the week off with a city pre-planning meeting. Things are picking up in the world of planning and construction in the city of Shelbyville. We got 17 items on the agenda. A couple of note, there's a 150 home subdivision that we're going to talk about coming on McDale. There are 2 pieces of property that want to get annexed into the city that are currently not in the city. And then there's going to be some discussion at that meeting of the possible new food truck ordinance. We're just getting feedback from pre-planning and planning before that comes back to city council. We currently do not regulate food trucks in any way in the city at all. We just rely on the health
state,
inspections. Yeah, for the state. So we don't do anything with them. They're popping up everywhere. If you drive around town, you see a new food truck every couple of weeks. So we just want to get a little bit of regulation in there so we make sure they don't get out of hand or something happen. Tuesday evening, the county commission will be meeting. This is quarterly reports meeting. There's 9 on the agenda. We're going to guess the over and under is going to be about 4 or 5 of them will be there, and the rest won't.
Okay,
So,
all right.
so we'll see how that goes, but it is quarterly report month. Thursday morning is my ever popular Railroad Authority meeting. So we'll see what's going on in railroads in Bedford County. So it'll be exciting to talk about next week. I'm sure there'll be some real excitement at that meeting.
I'm sure there will be.
Yeah. Thursday evening, there's 2 meetings I will not be able to attend because they conflict. And the city and the county both have BZA meetings. These are people that have projects that they want to bring either the city or the county. They do not meet the zoning regulations, but they want to bring them anyways.
Yeah.
They want exemptions. Obviously, if it makes it onto one of those meetings, it's likely controversial because it doesn't meet the zoning regulations. I know of at least a little bit of what's come to the city one. I believe this is going to be the one that they're going to talk about what's the road? I'm gonna draw a blank. The one with all the houses in the floodplain. I think that one's coming back around again. Over there, what Bethany Lane turns into once it goes over East Depot Street.
Oh, I was about to ask the one where they're building houses in the river.
Yeah, the one next to the river. Yeah,
Coney Island Road.
Coney Island. That's the one I'm looking for. Coney Island. I think that's on the city one. I don't know what's coming up on the county one, but it'll all be interesting developments. We'll see if we can get any information from those because I can't go to
I've got
those.
an idea. If they would just drop houseboats in there, just set them up.
Just set them up on the river.
That's it.
When the water goes up,
exactly. That's the best plan for that piece of
that
property.
would be a good idea. You should bring that up to the developers.
I'm not going to do that.
Okay. The reason I will not be at the BZA meetings, I will be attending Thursday. This is the monthly school board meeting. They're having it this month at Shelbyville Central because this is the one they do every year where they present the awards to level 4 and 5 teachers. Also on the agenda, they're going to talk about a master plan at Liberty School. I want to hear what they have to say about that. And then the deal with the floors at Cascade, which we've talked about, I think, a few times in the past. It's been a legal fight going back to the building of Cascade. And it looks like they're going to possibly send that to mediation instead of to court. So that'll be part of the discussion at the school board meeting on Thursday. We'll see what goes on with that. So,
all right, so maybe we'll get some updates on all this important information.
That, and we may hear more about attendance. We've been following that at the
Right.
school system. Our attendance has been dropping year over year.
Yeah.
So we'll see if they have any more information on that this month.
Yeah.
So, and that's it.
I got one thing.
Yeah.
Chuck Glover brings it up. I put a poll up yesterday on Shelbyville Now on the front page of our website on the homepage. It just basically says rate your county commissioners. give them a letter grade, A through F. That's been up for a little while, and people are starting to participate in it just to get a feel for what people feel like about the county. And we're going to do city government too, Josh. We don't want to leave you guys out.
Don't leave us out.
All right, so we'll do that later, but it is Chuck Glover brings it up, and I was going to mention it here at the end so people can go and cast their opinion. Vote. It's just an opinion poll. Give them a letter grade
So
on
you're
how you're being
voting
represented. The entire
on
Beverly
your
County
particular ones that represent you. Is that what you're trying to say?
no,
or-
just as a whole. the
Okay.
county
How do you feel
commission.
like the county?
Kind of like the congressional poll that's going around,
Ah.
and it's not good. Now we can do an
But what if you
individual.
like some of the county?
Well, we're
commissioners
going to
don't
get to
like the
that later.
others?
We'll break it
Okay.
down.
All
We
right.
did this a couple years ago and did an
Yeah.
approval rating thing from top to bottom.
Right.
We'll do that later, but I want to just see overall how it compares to what Congress is getting. I think it's going to be slightly higher than that.
I hope they do better in Congress. Congress is,
I know it.
yeah, Congress never does
Um,
well.
COVID polled higher than they did.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
Nobody likes Congress.
No,
but,
no.
yeah.
I think that it'll be a little bit higher than that.
Okay. Well,
But
we'll
it's
see.
out there. It's just ShelbyvilleNow.com. It pops up right in your face. A to F. Just give it a grade.
Just
That's
give
all
it
you
a
got to
grade.
do. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
Pretty
Go
simple.
vote.
Pretty simple. Go vote. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for watching again, as always. Thanks for the participation.